AbbVie just reported earnings, and this is a stock that I hold in my portfolio, and I'm going to continue to hold, and I'm going to let you know why. But let's look at my portfolio performance first. This is something I share with every single video. This is not a channel where I'm going to put up speculative stocks that want a 10x in 2 days. That's not me. I'm here to focus on quality companies because I want us to be able to learn and grow, have quality portfolios with quality holdings, and grow our wealth long term and become wealthy. So if you like this type of content, if you want to try to become wealthy, grow your portfolio in a quality way, not some reckless kind of gambling way, then this is the channel for you, and I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. So let's look at my portfolio. It's up 2%. That's $1,000 in the green, so it's holding up well, but I want to put your focus on AbbVie. This is my second best performing holding in my portfolio other than my energy ETF Fenny. This one comes in at a 67.73% in the green. Now, unfortunately, the downside is I don't have much money in it. Its market allocation is 2.79. So if you take away those gains just at a cost basis, that shrinks it quite a bit. So this is one that I wish I would have invested more, but let's get on to talking about this stock. Now, AbbVie expects a 37% drop in sales in 2023 for Humira as biosimilars hit the market. Now, the patent for Humira expires not till 2034, but due to a settlement, 9 other manufacturers are allowed to launch biosimilars now in 2023. So the decline in sales is expected to be heaviest towards the second half of this year, and AbbVie expects the sales drop to stabilize by the end of 2024. So Humira is a rheumatoid arthritis drug, and right now the only other company that is making a biosimilar is Amgen, and there's 7 more expected to launch this year, so that leaves 1 left that will probably launch in 2024. Now, a 37% drop in sales for Humira is actually a good thing for us investors, given that the original estimate was between a 35 and a 55% drop. So that is good for this stock. Now, in fourth quarter, Humira sales in the US grew by 4.6% to $5.58 billion, but internationally, where there are already less expensive versions, it's dropped 26.5% to $573 million. So we'll look here at its US sales versus international sales year over year since 2018. US, it's increased year over year, where international, it's decreased. International revenues have declined following loss of exclusivity in the markets like Europe, where I think this is what we'll start to see in the US in the next couple years as Humira goes up against those cheaper biosimilars from those 9 other companies. Now, AbbVie is hoping that its other popular drugs, Skyrizi and Rinvoq, can replace the lost revenue from Humira and that it will match Humira's peak sales by 2027, which has been the world's best-selling non-COVID prescription drug of all time. Yes, this Humira drug has been such a great thing for AbbVie, and I think it's trying to repeat that, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But with Skyrizi, its sales in fourth quarter came in at $1.58 billion, which beat estimates of $1.52 billion. Now, Rinvoq, though, unfortunately missed and came in at $770 million, below the expectations of $816.14 million. So we have a yay, and then we have kind of a sad thing with Rinvoq, but hopefully that'll turn around like they're expecting. So in fourth quarter, AbbVie, regarding their earnings, they earned $3.60 per share versus the estimate of $3.56. So they beat on earnings, but on sales they had a miss. They came in at $15.12 billion versus the estimate of $15.3 billion. So with that said, why am I holding the stock sell? Well, first of all, the fact that they're expecting Skyrizi and Rinvoq to meet the high sales of Humira by 2027 is a good thing. They're expecting them to grow. Not only that, but the CEO came out and said, expect us to act on merger and acquisitions. This is the thing that I want to hear from this company, and the company specifically wants candidates that would serve a large unmet need and have a significant patent population. So protection with the patent, but also an unmet need. So the fact that they could be first to market in an area that's not really popular and be kind of the one to spearhead that, they could possibly create another Humira-like drug that makes record revenue, and that would be fantastic. Now, looking downstream, the CEO Gonzalez says AbbVie is focusing on assets that can power revenue in the late 2020s and early 2030s. So we have the expected growth from Skyrizi and Rinvoq. We have them acting on mergers and acquisitions, hitting those unmet needs with very good patent protection, and the fact that they want to grow revenue over the next 5 to 10 years are all reasons why I want to keep holding AbbVie, because I think over the next 2 years with the Humira biosimilars coming in at cheaper prices, yes, the stock could see some volatility. But after that, I think the stock over 5 to 10 years will beat the S&P 500. And in fact, over the last year, AbbVie is up 7% while the S&P 500 is down 7%. So it's doing really well compared to the S&P 500. And if we look statistically, the top 10 pharmaceutical companies in the world, now this is just the revenue from the pharmaceuticals portion. Pfizer is number one at $79.6 billion, but AbbVie comes in second at $56.1 billion, followed by Johnson & Johnson at $52 billion. Now I hold AbbVie and Johnson & Johnson in my portfolio, so that makes me very happy. I hold 2 of the top 5. If we take that out to revenue of the companies as a whole, we'll see Pfizer comes in at number 1 again at $100.33 billion, Johnson & Johnson number 2 now at $94.94 billion. And keep in mind, Johnson & Johnson isn't just a pharmaceuticals company. It has med tech, it has consumer health, so that also helps us prop up quite a bit. Now, AbbVie drops down to number 6 at $58.05 billion, but it's still in the top 10. So I think I hold 2 great companies in the health sector, specifically pharmaceutical-wise, Johnson & Johnson and AbbVie. And with AbbVie, like I said, they're expected Skyrizi and Rinvoq to grow pretty healthily and actually match the top revenue that Humira brought in, and also focus on those mergers and acquisitions, like I stated, also focus on revenue growth by the late 2020s, early 2030s. This is things that I like to hear as an investor and why I'm going to keep invested. Not only that, this is a very popular stock due to their dividend. They pay out a dividend yield right now at 3.98%, which comes out to $1.48 quarterly per share. So that's a very good thing if you're a dividend investor, but I do want to put a warning up. This has a payout ratio of 75.8%, which is too high for my liking. I like payout ratios to be below 50%. Anything above 75% I consider risky, and this is just above that. So I think my warning is that if things don't go so well, if things go and turn for the worst in any part of their business, this is something that will be at risk of them cutting this dividend. And so that's something you have to keep in mind and keep track of, because if you are in it for the passive income, then you need to know that high payout ratio is a risk with this company. But with that said, I think this is a great company to hold, and I wish I would have put in more, like I said, because it's up massively for me. But I will continue to hold, and if there's some type of big dip with this stock, but the fundamentals are still there, I will add heavily to it. But I don't know if I'll get that opportunity, so for now, I'll just hold, collect that nice dividend, and see this company grow over the next 5 to 10 years. And so that's my thoughts on AbbVie. Let me know what you think of AbbVie. Do you hold this stock? Do you plan on buying some? Do you plan on selling it? I'd love to hear your opinions, especially over everything we went over. And with that said, again, be sure to subscribe. I appreciate your support. It really helps my channel. I want this channel to grow because I focus on quality. So let's keep this going. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll see you very soon on Mark Arnold's Finance.